Years ago, I started a website titled The Last Time We Were Black, and it was a nod to the 1970s and my time for awareness and discovery. And I'm not even sure I remember what my grievances was, or for that fact, whether I even had grievances. But being a boomer now and a black boomer at that, I grew up in a different time and space than I'm seeing now, and as it should be. Uh, I do remember the point of the website, though, and I wanted to preserve what I considered blackness. Part pride, part revolutionary, mixed with some stories from the old neighborhood, and anchored with the events at the time. So I have no trouble remembering the site, especially this time of the year. From January through February, my wife and I celebrate our blackness through a Soul Train festival. And each year we pull out the 9-disc DVD set and relive our youth, so to speak. We also mix in the soul editions of the Midnight Special and a host of black movies, both informative and my favorite black exploitation movies or black exploitation movies. And we add to that a complete rundown of all 6 seasons of Good Times, along with a bunch of other things that will make up the content, that we use here on this, my YouTube channel. And I also want to revisit the thought processes I had then and compare them with the ones I have now. And, just looking back at those days. And I plan to have some fun and get serious, sometimes very serious, sometimes political, especially in the times we're in now. So, unfortunately, I fear a lot of this is falling on deaf ears with our youth, but that's life. So, I have so many things I want to get to, giving the Black Power sign routinely, dressing in my red, black, and green, this and that, Afro sheen picks, hair plaits. And I want to talk about things like the Black Panthers and the Vietnam War. I want to talk about my family and my neighborhood. So please join me in this website with as much spirit and meaning as I can. And straining the limits of my writing and communication skills, but with every intent, to inform. So the last time we were black was my good old days, and I'm adding it to this YouTube channel. This was previously a channel I started to document my cancer journey. But as I started the cancer journey, I realized that I didn't want to talk about it, not because I was ashamed, but I didn't even want to discuss it that much. I do what I have to do. I stay as healthy as I can, and I press forward, and I'm feeling great, stronger than ever. So I can't complain. So this YouTube channel, I hope is an expression for me. So I'm going to add on the video version of the substacks that I'm writing. Last time we were black, and maybe some other things. But right now, that's what I want to focus on, being a black boomer and, my thoughts of the past, especially the 1970s, which I call my heyday, from 10 to 20. So those were, you got your day. Those I thought were some of my days, not that these days aren't now. So, I want to thank you for joining me with this, and I hope that I can add these, verbal substacks to this channel, and let's talk about the good old days when we were black without apology. The last time we were black, just off the Martin Luther King years, where we started in the 70s, and we were proud, and we were not prejudiced, but we had perspective, we had awareness, so that's what I want to get to that. So thank you.